All right, in this lesson, we're going to look through some practice problems for oral medications. Now, I'm going to use some of the formula as well as some in dimensional analysis because I want you to see both ways worked out. So first, I want to give you just some key points about oral medications that you need to be thinking about, not only when you're answering questions, but also when you're doing dosage calculation. If you're dealing with tablets, remember it could be a whole tablet or a half tablet if it's scored. But remember that extended release, enteric-coated tablets, none of those can be cut. So if the question says, how many tablets would this be? Is this an appropriate dose? And it's 1.5 tablets, but it's an extended release, then the answer becomes no, because you can't cut it in half. Okay, so keep that in mind. Capsules, whole capsules only. Liquids might be milliliters, might be teaspoons or tablespoons. Make sure you know your conversions. And remember, some of this might be weight-based as well, so make sure you're thinking about that. Even with oral medications, you always want to think, is this appropriate? Again, am I allowed to cut this medication? Does it fit within a dose range? If I need a cut, but I can't, do I need to call the pharmacy because it's a wrong form? So just things to think about. And then anytime we're doing these medications, you're always going to think per dose. So tabs per dose, milliliters per dose, etc. All right, let's work some out. Example number 1, the order is for furosemide 60 milligrams, POQ 8 hours. Available is furosemide 20 milligrams scored tabs. How many tabs per dose? Let's start with the dosage formula. Dosage formula says what we want, so that would be 60, over what we have, 20, times what it's in, 1 tab. And that gives us 60 divided by 20, 3 tabs. Now I want to show you this in dimensional analysis as well, because remember, dimensional analysis can be used for even the most simple problems. Start with what we're looking for. We want to find tabs per dose. Transfer your units over tabs. 1 tab is 20 milligrams. Transfer your units up. What do we know? 60 milligrams per dose. Cancel, cancel. Tabs per dose. 60, or 1 times 60 divided by 20 divided by 1 equals 3 tabs. Same thing, but 2 different ways to get there. It's completely up to you on how you want to do it. All right. Example number 2, diltiazem 2.5 milligrams POQ 12 hours. Available is diltiazem 5 milligrams scored tabs. How many tabs per dose? So let's say what we want over what we have, times what it's in, 1 tablet. So this is what's available. 2.5 divided by 5, 0.5 tabs. Let's look at dimensional analysis and do the same thing. We're looking for tabs per dose. Transfer your top units over tabs. What do we know? 1 tab is 5 milligrams. Transfer your units. What do we know about milligrams? We're looking for 2.5 milligrams per dose. Multiply across the top, divide across the bottom. 1 times 2.5 divided by 5 divided by 1 equals 0.5 tabs. Again, your last step is always to verify, does a half tab of this medication make sense? It's a scored tab. That seems appropriate. So we would verify, yes, this makes sense. Okay, example number 3, gabapentin 600 milligrams PO daily. Available is gabapentin 300 milligram tabs. How many tabs per dose? Now, one thing I would caution you against is some people will look at this and they'll automatically know the answer because they do math in their head. And that's fine. But I always encourage you to use a formula or use dimensional analysis as a double check. It's very possible that you could accidentally flip these. You see this and you go, oh, it's a half a tab, but you actually got it backwards. Okay, so make sure that you're using your formulas. Let's do this one more time. What we want over what we have times what it's in, which is 1 tab. Okay, 600 divided by 300 is 2 tabs. Make sense? Yes. If you had gone too quickly, you could have said half a tab and you would have been wrong. Now let's do dimensional analysis just for the sake of showing you. What we're looking for is tabs per dose. Transfer your top units over. What do we know? 1 tab is 300 milligrams. Transfer your units up. What else do we know about milligrams? 600 milligrams in 1 dose. Multiply across the top, divide across the bottom. 1 times 600 divided by 300 divided by 1 gets you 2 tabs. All right. Okay, example number 4, ibuprofen 100 milligrams PO 1 time. Available ibuprofen 20 milligrams per ml suspension. How many teaspoons per dose? Okay, so identify, convert, solve, and verify. We're identifying, well, what are we looking for? We're looking for teaspoons. Do we have teaspoons? No, we have milliliters. All right. In this case, it may be easier to find your milliliters and then convert, but you can do it either way you want. I'm actually going to convert after I solve. So what I want, 100 milligrams, over what I have, 20 milligrams, times what it's in, 1 milliliter. 100 divided by 20 gets me 5. That leaves me with 5 milliliters. Then you have to convert this to teaspoons. How many teaspoons is 5 milliliters? 1 teaspoon. So this is your verify step. Are you in the right units? Okay. I see this a lot. People get to this part and they forget to convert back to teaspoons at the end. So part of verify is, are you in the right units? So I want to show you this in dimensional analysis because one of the benefits of dimensional analysis is not having to do separate conversions. So let's look at it this way. What are we looking for? Teaspoons per dose. Transfer our top units over teaspoons. Do we know anything about teaspoons here? Nope. So let's convert. 1 teaspoon is how many milliliters? 5. Now transfer our milliliters over. What do we know about milliliters? 1 milliliter is 20 milligrams. Okay. Transfer units over. What do we know about milligrams? We want 100 milligrams in 1 dose. Multiply across the top. 1 times 1 times 100. Divide across the bottom. Divided by 5, divided by 20, divided by 1 gets us 1 teaspoon per dose. Again, cancel milligrams, cancel milliliters. You can see you're left with what you're looking for. Let's do one more. Azolfidine 1.5 grams PO daily. Available is 500 milligram capsules. How many caps per dose? So again, identify, convert, solve, and verify. Identify, we're looking for capsules per dose. We've got grams here, we've got milligrams here. All right, so we're kind of aware something's going on. Convert. I need both of these to be in grams or in milligrams. It's completely up to you what you choose to do. Personally, I'm going to put everything into the unit of the actual order because I feel like that makes more sense. So instead of 500 milligrams, we're going to say that these capsules are 0.5 grams. Move over 3 spaces, 0.5 grams. Now I can work on solving. I'm going to use my dosage formula. What do I want? 1.5 grams. What do I have? 0.5 grams in 1 capsule. 1.5 divided by 0.5 gets us 3. Now, if you had chosen to do this the other way, you could have also said that this was 1,500 milligrams. Therefore, you would have said 1,500 milligrams over 500 milligrams, what I want over what I have, times what it's in, and you would have gotten the same answer, 3 capsules. Now let's see what this looks like in dimensional analysis. Again, not having to do separate conversions, it takes one step out of the process. I'm looking for caps per dose. Transfer my units over. What do I know about capsules? I know that 1 capsule is 500 milligrams. Do I know anything else about milligrams? Nope, so I have to convert. 1,000 milligrams, going to grams, is 1 gram. What do I know about grams? Transfer the units. I know that I want 1.5 grams per dose. Cancel, cancel. I'm left with caps per dose and I'm good to go. 1,000 times 1.5 divided by 5 gives us 3 capsules. Okay, so either way works. Again, I want you guys to just find the process that works for you. Go back and review these. We've provided these without answers in the outline if you want to review them again and do them yourselves. Okay, the more you can practice, the better you'll get at them. We love you guys. Make sure you're continuing to work on these dosage calculations. Now go out and be your best selves today. And as always, happy nursing.